Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 25. Today I'm going to be giving a little first impressions video. This is my second take of this video because the first time my game audio was way too loud and I kind of rambled on a little bit. I'm just going to be going through a linear progression and kind of just going over each individual feature and giving my thoughts on it as I go through the menu here. And it's just going to be kind of brief, but let's just jump right into it. So, to start out here in the home screen, we got Career, got Online Hub, and we got Supercross Academy. To start out with Career, me personally, I'm not going to be spending a lot of time in Career. From what I've heard, from what I see in front of my eyes, and from what I've seen, the Career is not all that changed, or not all that interesting in my opinion. It's not something that I feel like has a lot of longevity. You could play it for maybe a week and get entertainment out of it for that long. Past that, it's probably not going to be that interesting, and you're going to want to move to online or racing, not the AI. Next up, we have where I will be spending all of my time, which is in the Online Hub. So you go into Online Hub, you can select your rider, you select game mode. First, we have the search unranked session option, which for some reason right now is not really working. As you see at the top of the screen, it says there's a 36-minute wait to get into a lobby. I haven't been able to get into a lobby yet. Hopefully they can get that situated, but it doesn't really seem like pub lobbies are working at the moment. I did do some races earlier. Private lobbies are up. They're working, and those are good to go. So to keep it moving, the Supercross Academy, I will probably never touch. I'm not gonna lie. If you want something more in depth on that, you can go check somebody else out. It's cool that it's in here. I'm sure it just takes you maybe through futures, maybe just teaches you the game. Kind of just a tutorial. Not really something that matters too much. Then we have single event. That's the average single event, the exhibition, whatever you want to call it. You go in, you choose a track, you race the AI, and that's about as far as that goes. Let me turn up the audio. Next up, we have Rhythm Attack, which is, again, cool that it's in here. It's a good feature. Am I going to use it all that much? No, I'm not. I'm just not going to be using the straight rhythm. I'm glad it's in here. It's good to have. We got 4 tracks. I'm sure the tracks are cool. I'm sure they're unique. I'm sure they're interesting. And I'll check them out eventually, but not at the moment. We'll go over, I guess, I don't even know what tournament is. I'm just going to assume it's a tournament, like 1v1 tournament, like a straight rhythm. Makes sense to me considering it's in the rhythm attack mode. Time attack. Unfortunately, I've already discovered that time attack doesn't work. The leaderboards are already broken. If I head over to the Glendale here, it's going to tell you that my fastest lap is a 107.5. That is wrong. I did a 106.4, I believe, on Glendale, which is uploaded on my YouTube channel if you want to go check that out. If you want to check out what a hot lap looks like on this game, go check out that video. So yeah, just like all the other milestone games, leaderboards are broken in time attack. I can't say I'm too surprised there. Next, we have the championship mode, which is going to be the standard championship mode that you have from all the other previous milestone games. You create a custom championship with whatever tracks, however many rounds you want. Could be a good time, but you have to race against the AI. I don't think that there's a multiplayer championship mode, which is kind of lame. There is split screen on this game, which is good. So those are all those baseline features, but to get into the nitty-gritty and what I believe is the important stuff, the physics and the tracks, and the actual gameplay, rather than just the feature list. So I want to start out with the tracks and start out with the motocross tracks, actually. I am super impressed with what they put together for the motocross tracks. I think that the motocross tracks are a lot of fun on this game, and I honestly think that they might work better with the game's physics than the Supercross tracks. So I think they did a great job. There's no compound, so it's not like a compound MX track this time. But who does that affect? Maybe, 1% of the player base. Not many people are spending time on the compound, free riding, doing that kind of stuff. It was just kind of a waste. It wasn't in there for any real reason. So now we have 6 moto tracks in 6 different locations, which I think are super fun. They work super well with the game's physics. They let you throw some fat whips, and it's an overall good time. Something also worth noting, I think, is the UI and the menus. I think they did a great job this year with the UIs and the menus. As I've been scrolling through, you could see we got the rider in the background on the home screen. I think these menus with the different locations across the country look very good. The preview pictures, the loading screens. I think this is one of the prettiest, if not the prettiest games when it comes to the UI and the menus, which definitely matters to me. And even if you don't realize, it probably matters to you in terms of how you view the game subconsciously. You want to get on, you want to look at something that looks half decent. It's cool to have a decent UI. We haven't had a decent one since, I think, MESX 1 or 2. I think from 3 on, 3, 4, 5, and 6, those UIs were not very good. So big improvement on that aspect, which I'm happy about. So let's get into some gameplay. So I could talk about the gameplay and talk a little bit about the tracks in this game. I actually really enjoy these first 4 tracks that are updated. Unfortunately, the other tracks except for A1, San Diego, Glendale, and A2 are not currently updated to the current scale, which is unfortunate because they're super rolled off. A lot of the tracks are still fun, but many of them are kind of just like roller sections. So you'll have to experiment a bit with that. The tracks are kind of iffy, but these first 4 are super fun with the actual proper scaling. So let's get this started here. First thing you're going to notice with my gameplay is there's 3 whips right there. Throwing it fat. Again, over the Supercross triple. Throwing it. A lot of fun to do and a lot of fun to get right. And there's a lot of skill gap, I believe. There's a lot of time to be found by scrubbing properly in all of these corners. So I'm very happy with the way they made the whip and the scrub system in this game. I think that it's way better than the pre-made scrubs that they had. Especially when you get on the outdoor tracks. I've literally gotten backwards a few times. Like, my camera has fully flipped around. So I think that's great. I think they did a good job with that. It's a little bit stiff, I will say. But I think that creates some skill gap. It makes it so that it's not super easy to just, as we're going off track, it's not super easy to throw scrubs on every single jump. You really have to think about it. You have to plan it out and make sure you kind of set up for it rather than just easily scrubbing on every single jump. So I like that aspect. So that covers the in-air. For the cornering and the ground physics, the cornering is also overhauled in this game. You have to weight the outside peg to go fast. So it's no longer just push both sticks in the same direction and you turn that way. You actually have to push them in opposite directions to turn that way. So, however interesting that may seem, it's actually another one of those things that kind of creates a skill gap, in my opinion. And I think it's a lot of fun. You have to slow down for the corners, take them a little bit methodically, and, be sure to carry your momentum while also not coming in too hot and just absolutely blowing off the berm and ending up in the tough blocks, which, trust me, I did a lot when I first picked up in this game. And you probably will too when you pick up the game. It's just one of those things, takes some time to get used to. But once you do get used to it, I think it's a lot of fun. You have to make sure to be straight coming out of these corners. It's very easy to turn too much and launch yourself the wrong direction. I did that a countless number of times when I first picked up this game for the first few hours. Another one of those things that you just have to get used to. It's a skill gap thing, which I think is good for the game. I think it's good when the game has skill gap. That means it's got longevity, and people aren't just going to get bored immediately because they could actually get better at it. As you can see, there's still some shenanigans that you could do, like launching the wall as I die off of it. So that's interesting. But yeah, I think that really covers the important stuff for the ground physics and the air physics. So the overall physics engine, I think, is a massive improvement on Supercross 6. It's not as stiff as Supercross 6, but it's not as slidey as something like Supercross 3. So it's a good in-between, and I think they've honestly done a great job with the physics on this game. So far, it seems very fun, very intuitive, and it's up my alley. I could see myself spending a lot of time on this game, and I know I probably will spend a lot of time on this game. Look at that, throwing it flat over these jumps, really swinging it out there. Something you couldn't do on the old games, so it's a lot of fun. Look at that, even in the middle of the rhythm, still getting it going, scrub out. A lot of fun. A lot of fun, in my opinion. Let's see if we could put down a little bit of a heater here. Oh, I'm cooked. No heater. No heater. I exploded. One more thing in terms of the tracks is the terrain deformation. The terrain deformation is very interesting on this game. First thing worth noting is that it's predetermined. So every race that you do, the ruts are going to be in the same position no matter where you ride. The ruts are going to stay in the same spot. So it's predetermined. You already know where they're going to be, which is a little bit lame, but I guess no ruts, or I guess ruts are better than no ruts. You know, some form of terrain deformation is better than nothing. The biggest problem that I have with the ruts and the terrain deformation system on this game is that they are extremely difficult to see. That's not something that I could show in this video because it would take me going into a race and playing it for about 5 minutes, but they're hard to see. It's just, they're very difficult to see, and it makes it so that many times you're coming into a corner and you just have to guess where the rut is going to be, and you don't really know. And if you hit it clean, they're super satisfying, and it makes me happy that they're in the game. And then other times I can't see the rut and I come in and I end up just 50-50 grinding on it and blowing myself up because I wasn't able to see it coming in. So that's something that I think they could improve on if they could just add some shadows, maybe make the dirt a bit darker, just anything along those lines. So just try and make the ruts just a little bit more visible. I think that would be honestly huge for this game and for the terrain deformation system. Can't really think of anything else, to be honest, to go over when it comes to the physics and the tracks. I think they did a great job this year. I'm proud of Milestone when it comes to that. A huge improvement over 6. And I think people should be happy with this, if I'm being honest. But to each their own. And if you want to complain or be negative about it, you're more than welcome to. Let me finish this lap out. And then I will go over customization. Let's see if I can put down a heater here. I'm kind of on a good one. Maybe I could beat my personal record lap that I uploaded earlier. Nope. I blew it. Oh. This is still going to be a pretty decent lap, though. Still a 107.4, so not too shabby there. I'm not mad about that lap. Finally, I want to go over the customization system a little bit because it's very different in this game compared to any of the previous Milestone games. To start out, there is not as much preset customization options. So if you remember in previous Milestone games, that's one of the things that they did the best. They had hundreds of gear, helmet, boot, livery options, you name it, they had it in the game. This game, if we want to just go to gear options, for example, I'll show you what all there is. There's 3 6, 9, 12, 15 gear options. I do believe there is different colorways for those gears. But overall, it's just not nearly as much as we're used to seeing from Milestone. Even if you go here to helmets, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. Okay, there's more helmets. But many of these are like Milestone Gold, Milestone Ice Blizzard, Milestone Red Dragon. Like, these are not very interesting helmets. They're not like bell helmets like we'd want to see. So that's something worth noting. But the biggest thing is we kind of made a trade-off here. So we don't have all those default preset customizations, but what we do have is graphic editors. And the graphic editors allow you to create gear, helmets, boots, not boots. You can create helmets, gear, butt patch, stickers, and liveries. So in this, I could pop it open real quick and show you what it is. You have all of these layers, all of these shapes and colors, whatever you want, whatever you can imagine that you could place on the bike to create whatever your livery you want. So you can imagine, if any of you guys have played Forza, it's similar to a Forza customization system, and just like Forza, it has the community section. You can come over here to community, you can go to newest, and you can go to most downloaded. Here we have a Geico Honda, that's just gray. We got a Muck-Off Yamaha, and a variety of different custom liveries. Right now they're not very good because the game just came out today, so nobody has really gotten fully used to the customization system, but this customization system has untapped potential. You can create whatever you want. And the biggest benefit is that people online in races can actually see it, rather than PC mods, for example, which only the person with the mods installed can see. In this instance, you can create whatever you want. Other people can see it, which is very cool. So we have less default customization options, but we have much more freedom to create whatever we want. So I think that's a win personally out of Milestone. They give us that freedom for customization. They don't put as much time into making those default options, but we can make whatever we want. So I don't think it really matters that much. Me personally, I take that trade every time. So yeah, I think that covers pretty much everything except for this shop tab over here, but there's nothing currently in that. That's just where all the DLC is going to go. My overall thoughts is that this game is a huge improvement. This game is miles better than Supercross 6. I think Supercross 6 was the worst installment in the series by far. It's not even close in my personal opinion. I think they made huge strides, big step forwards with features and especially physics and tracks, in my opinion. So if you enjoy Supercross games, you enjoy dirt bike games, and you have the money to spend, I would actually recommend this game. It comes with one thing that I should have definitely noted earlier is 16-player online lobbies and full cross-platform. So you can play with, if you have a friend on PlayStation, you're on Xbox, doesn't matter. You could hop on, you can play. It has Epic support, so you have to have an Epic Games account, but everybody has an Epic Games account pretty much. So overall, if I had to rate the game, honestly, I'd say about an 8 out of 10. I'm super impressed. I've had a blast playing this game since it came out at 3 in the morning. I woke up specifically to play it, downloaded it, played it all the way until class. I went to class and came home. Now I'm making this video, and then I'm gonna throw it up for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, that just about does it. I can't wait to be racing leagues and uploading more YouTube videos for y'all to see, and hopefully winning. It's gonna be awesome to have that cross-platform competition. We're gonna really be able to see who's the best. So it's gonna be super fun, and I can't wait for it. Can't wait to see how far this game goes. Hopefully they keep up with good DLC content, and they keep supporting the game, and they keep updating it. But overall, day one, my first impressions is that I'm impressed. Good job to milestone on this one. And yeah, if y'all are interested, you can go ahead and pick it up, and we could hop in a lobby and race. Just shoot me a message. That is about everything from me. So enjoy the game.